The autumn wind is a league, holding the treasures ye may seek. Have some fun and play along, whether for a day or for a week. Seek advice from a sage, or battle straight up. Square off in a cage, or joust without a cup. It's a FanDuel. Is it your favorite you take, or make the logical play? Will your foes stand before you and quiver and quake, as you will be crowned prince for a day? The autumn wind may be a casual player, FanDueling just to talk trash. But there will be those that will play, that will be able to say, I've got my hands on some cold, hard cash.
Hello and welcome to the Box Scores FanDuel Draft Day. I'm Brock here in Los Angeles, joined by the Danettes all the way in from the East Coast. McLovin, how's it feel to draft a fantasy team in a big city like this with no NFL team?
Yeah, you know what? With 1 week fantasy, everybody can have their own team, except Los Angeles, I guess.
Yes, it will remain a fantasy, but what is real are your results from Week 8. So let's take a look at those, shall we? Seaton, you came out on top, followed by the bridesmaid himself, Todd Fritz, in second place. Congratulations to you. McLovin was third, and Paulie and Dan brought up the rear. Seaton, you have third. You have 3 first-place finishes this year. Do you think you will finish with the most at the end of the season?
Wow, that's interesting. No, I don't. But I would like to. That's pretty sweet. But, I mean, McLovin is always, to see him at third, that's pretty far down for him. He's usually right at 1 or 2. So my money would be on him. But I really don't know who's finished first.
I'm a little upset. Now, 4th place isn't great, but that's not a 4th place picture of me you have up. That's a 5th place, last place picture. I would like something just a little more muted for 4th place.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
That's desperation.
Look at Fritzy's picture.
That is. We need to make some dietary changes there. Okay, well, let's recap Week 8 in all its glory. Usually I toss it all the way out to the East Coast, but now I shall just fling it across the room to you, Paulie, and your finger-licking good picking.
Let me tell you, Brock, everyone at Finger Licking Good Productions decided to kick it up a notch this week. For the first time in franchise history, 3 players from the same game. Boom.
Whoa.
Try to follow this, guys. All from the same game. Drew Brees, 5'11", 7 touchdowns, 46.3 points. I did not check, but I'll bet that's the best score from any one guy this year. Eli Manning, 350, 6 TDs, 38 points. Someone had to catch all those passes. Whoop, guess who did it? Odell Beckham Jr., not to be confused with his father, Odell Beckham Sr., who does not play football, 130 yards, 3 TDs, 35 points. That's my finger-looking good picks of the week. Fritzy, how about your busts of the week?
Take that, Josh DeMille.
All right, here's one that brings me personal joy as a fan. My Broncos shutting down Aaron Rodgers. Couldn't get anything going against the new Orange Crush defense. Only 77 passing yards and no touchdowns. Only 6 points for you on the fantasy front, whoever went with Aaron Rodgers thinking that was going to be the week where Denver was going to be found out as a pretend undefeated team. The one that hurt me the most, and that's probably why I came in second to Seaton O'Connor, is James Jones paying the price for Aaron Rodgers being shut down. 1 catch, 2 yards, 0.7 points this week, costing me first place. Not a sexy pick. James Jones, I don't think I'll ever pick him again. That was just a disaster.
Let me ask you something. You're a guy who's an emotional guy. You pick James Jones. If he has a great game for your team, he's hurting your team,
True.
the Broncos.
It was very hard for me to pick someone that was playing against the Broncos, but I was in a budget situation, and I was looking for, and I really liked my other 8 picks, so I was stuck. That was the last position player that I was left with, and I'm like, who can I get in the amount? And then I'm like, I figured Broncos, the defense, maybe this is the week that they'll do enough to win, but James Jones will have a big game with Aaron Rodgers. Still hoping the Broncos obviously would win in spite of that. Now let's go to Seaton for the breakthrough rock star of Week 8.
Paulie, I want to go back to Giants Saints.
Go for it.
Okay, and Odell Beckham Jr. the third. Obviously, he had a monster day. Let me tell you about another fella who absolutely broke through that day, Benjamin Watson.
What?
Maybe you've heard of him. You definitely heard of him now.
Definitely
9
you say.
catches, 147 yards, a touchdown, 25 fantasy points. Dude had a monster day. Yes, Andrew?
I have a killer nickname for him. He's in New Orleans. Benjamin's his first name. Benjamin Button, because he's playing like he did when he's younger. He's in his 12th year. Benjamin Button, older,
Or-
younger.
How you could do Ben Ye Watson.
Oh,
Fritz.
I didn't want to top
You
him
did,
there.
though.
I
You
took
did.
that out of Paulie's playbook, but
Well done.
I think you go Ben Ye
That's
Watson.
good.
All right, let's get McLovin's system breaker.
Okay, the first thing you do when you see this quarterback, Oakland Raiders, Derek Carr, you say, is that dude wearing eyeliner? And the truth is, it really doesn't matter. When you're throwing for 4 TDs, over 300 yards, team is actually pretty good. You got a great target in Amari Cooper. Derek Carr, I'm now going to say it. You guys ready for this?
Sure, he's wearing eyeliner.
He is wearing eyeliner, but the better thing is he is the best Carr quarterback in the history of the NFL.
Oh.
Better than his brother David. Better than basketball player Austin Carr.
Better than Austin Carr.
Yeah, I mean, he is by
He has the
far
eyeliner of the tiger. So,
He's,
Oh, I like that.
Lloyd Carr is pretty
Hey,
good.
should I
coach of
just
Michigan.
leave? Should I just leave? Is there any reason for me to be here? I have been topped. Not only did I come in 3rd place, I've been topped by everybody here. See, Brock, you want to top me?
No. I'm not going to say that Derek Carr is an emo. I don't know. Where do I go with the
Carr.
eyeliner?
Yeah, emo guy.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Well, at least I
I'm so
feel
depressed,
little
I'm
bang.
playing
at least I
over
feel
it.
safe
Right,
Brock
he's
can't top me.
unhappy
So we're
about
good
it.
on that.
All right, well, guys, that was a solid breakdown there. Let's see. Coming up next, I think we're going to look ahead towards Week 9, get some lineups. But first, hey, if you're going to get into a fantasy truck draft, hey, first pick is the Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. Yeah, climbing hills, hauling trailers, and it's good for at least 350 yards and 4 touchdowns every Sunday or every other Sunday. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com. Guts, glory, Ram. Oh, welcome back to the Box Score. We're getting ready for Week 9, but first, the Danettes need to issue their challenge to all you good folks. McLovin, break it down.
Well, we're out in LA, and we all came up with this idea. What if you had a quarterback from the state of California? Now, he doesn't have to be.
Oh, is it?
it was a quarterback with a California connection.
Yes.
Right. A connection. And you have to make the argument. And Dan gets final approval.
I
if
think
he
at the
has
time that we
California
came up with it, we were like, oh, this is really. It turns out pretty much every quarterback has some type of California connection. It's not very difficult.
They went to some
find.
prep school
Yeah, I
or
know,
college, or they
yeah.
were on one of the California teams before they went to their new
Well,
team.
I threw out Marcus Mariota because you have to get to Hawaii. You have to connect through LA. I got 5 tweets saying you can connect through Portland.
How about this seating challenge? How about we do something with dreadlocks? You have to recruit a player that has dreadlocks. Can we go
like
something
it.
like that?
Yeah,
you
we
don't
could
really
do
need
that.
to recruit in FanDuel. You can just click on them. But either way.
Snarky.
What is he doing?
What's snarky today?
It's not necessary.
All right, well, I don't know if his lineup has any dreadlocks in it or is he going to be snarky about this, but let's go to Paulie.
Well, I'm going to start from the bottom. Jacksonville Jaguars, bargain basement price. They have almost no defense, but I think they're going to do something. Robbie Gould, he's been good to me. Seems like a nice person off the field. Martellus Bennett, he's going to get a lot of balls thrown his way. Mike Evans, same thing, $7,500. Alshon Jeffrey. I don't know why I picked Alshon Jeffrey and Martellus Bennett because I usually don't go Bears. Julian Edelman, sure thing. D'Angelo Williams with Bell out. I think this was the bargain of the week.
Yeah.
At $6,500 for D'Angelo Williams, I think he's going to have 2 touchdowns and a hundy. Chris Ivory, very consistent this year. And my California connection, quarterback Eli Manning of the Giants, who was drafted by the San Diego Chargers and was a Charger for
Yes.
43 minutes.
Yeah, and then he was taken away. Paulie, you finished 4th last week with back-to-back first-place finishes. Any changes in the strategy going into this week?
No, mindless picking. Hope for the best. That's our motto.
All right, now it's time to head over to the man who's had a first-place drought. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
Since
you're
week
right.
1, McLovin, can you come back from just the dungeon of 3rd place?
Well, I'm still in the black or the red when you're up in money. Because I won so much in week 1 that
Black.
I've been dwindling.
Black is
I'm in the
good.
black. I have basically Paulie's team minus the Bears. Thank God. No offense,
Wow.
Paulie.
No offense.
I have Eli, Mr. Charger, Eli Manning. Todd Gurley, so Manly. Because how can you not take Gurley? Then you got
He's
DeAngelo
expensive
Williams.
now, though.
Yeah, he's getting expensive. DeAngelo Williams. Gurley's going to fall off at some point, and I want to be there. I'm going to run him until he falls off. Mike Evans, he's going to do the breakthrough. Allen Robinson every week. I'm sick of watching Allen Robinson catch touchdowns for other teams. Jarvis Landry, you never know. Benjamin Button, or Beignet Watson, as he's also known in some circles,
Yes,
tight end.
elementary.
Now, this guy, I'm excited about this guy. Kai Forbath,
Yeah, Kai Forbath.
kicker. And why not those Philadelphia Eagles? How about them
those
Eagles?
How about them Eagles? McLovin, you know what? You took on Josh Dumel in a personal challenge and lost. The cameras caught up with Mr. Dumel prior to the Dan Patrick Show. So let's see what he said as we bring you a box score exclusive.
I am here today at the Dan Patrick Show, not because I had anything else to do, but because I heard last week that McLovin was calling me out on the radio, saying that I didn't know what I was doing when it came to fantasy football. Yeah, and you may be right, but obviously you don't know what the hell you're doing either, McLovin. And now I get to come here and make you eat crow on national TV and national radio. So eat that.
Okay, so I walked back in the green room. It's like, dude, the guy's wearing sweatpants and a T-shirt and a Vikings cap. I'm like, does he know this is on TV? It dawned on me. And obviously he did now, but still, he's 50 times better looking than all four of us combined. And
He can wear that and still look like presentable or something. Like he didn't actually look like a total slob.
Is it me or were
like
those
I
the
would.
coolest sweatpants you've ever seen?
They
in
were
your life?
very
I think those
cool.
are like $400 sweatpants.
High-end sweats.
But if we wore them, they'd look like $23 sweatpants. Right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and he beat me. But Le'Veon Bell got hurt.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's not my fault. My star running back. I'm the mush, by the way. Most of the running backs I picked have torn an ACL in that game. I'm sorry, DeAngelo Williams and Todd Gurley.
Yeah, can we highlight the fact though, just not to like beat a dead horse here, but Josh Dumel watches the show on TV and thought he was going to a radio interview. I just want to get that out there.
We were doing a
for the
special
record.
edition Thursday
That was,
radio show.
That's pretty special.
You're saying his looks might have had more to do with his success.
Josh, no, you're gonna walk
Yeah,
into a
no,
wall.
come on, honey. No, come on. You're just cute.
Just so handsome. I forgive him for all his shortcomings. Let's see. Are you going to take on Josh again?
I tried to get double or nothing. He wouldn't go
I didn't
there.
want any part of that.
But by the way, the first email Josh sent about this, he says, I can't believe McLovin got me into fantasy football to me, which said to me, like, he doesn't know that Andrew Perloff in email is McLovin. So Josh is, it's a little
I
scattered.
had that happen with Al Michaels, and Dan said, "Hey, Seaton's gonna introduce you." He goes, "Who?" He's like, "Seaton, right there." And he's like, "Oh, okay." Yeah. Who? Yeah. And that booming Al Michaels voice. I'm like, this big.
He was nice enough to throw something on the ground for me to pick up in the hallway. Very nice guy. Very nice guy. All right, we got two lineups all set. And remember, if you, that's right, you want to take on Dan and the Danettes in 1 week fantasy football, you can do exactly that. Just go to FanDuel.com/Patrick and enter the promo code Patrick for a 100% deposit match up to $200 on new accounts, $5 to enter, and winners get instant cash as soon as contest ends. That's FanDuel.com/Patrick. FanDuel, the leader in one-day fantasy sports. All right, stick around. We are going to get Seaton and Fritzy's lineups, see if they can repeat the greatness that occurred in Week 8. Bye-bye. Welcome back to the Boxers FanDuel Draft Day. We go on now to Mr. Fritz. Week 8, your bust of the week was James Jones.
Yeah.
And he cost you a first place. How did that affect your approach to this week?
It told me not to pick James Jones. It also told me don't pick anybody that's going up against the Broncos because that's just bad karma. Because all I needed, if I would have just got 6-7 points from him, I would have had first place. It was just total disaster.
Well, hopefully you can avoid a bust this week. Todd, who's on your team?
All right, I went Drew Brees at quarterback because he went crazy for me last week, and I felt like I owed it to him.
California connection?
And it's the California
Hey,
connection
Summer
since he
Breeze,
used to
yeah.
be a San Diego Charger quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
I took a few risks, one of which was Chris Ivory. I'm not sure what to make of that pick, but they're playing the Jaguars, so I thought a good running back against the Jaguars should equal hopefully a lot of points. I went back to Deion Lewis, who I started earlier in the
Love to
year.
do that.
I think he could have a big game against the Redskins. Don't know a lot about the Redskins defense, but I don't think much of Washington. Kirk Cousins I do, but not so much on the other side of the ball. Wide receivers, I went Demaryius Thomas. Hope he's going to go have a big game at the Colts. I went Julian Edelman. I kind of took something out of Seaton's playbook. I went 1/3 of my lineup as Patriots. Second of which is Julian Edelman, again, against the Redskins, who I have no respect for. Michael Crabtree, I think, is going to have a big game at Heinz Field against the Steelers. Brent Selleck in the big Sunday night game. I think he's going to do something in Jerry Jones's house. Matt Bryant is my kicker.
Let me ask you something about Matt Bryant, Fritzy. How old is Matt Bryant? Because in that picture, he looks old. He also looks like he was in season 2 of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
I thought he was more.
45.
I thought he
Like
was a
Sons
prison
of
guard.
Anarchy or something. He's
Prison
got
guard.
that kind of feel to him.
That's not a
Prison
very
guard
nice
parole
picture of Matt
officer,
Bryant.
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I rounded it out with the Patriots defense. So Deion Lewis, Julian Edelman, Patriots defense stolen out of the playbook of Patrick Seton O'Connor. I didn't think I'd ever pick one Patriot. I got 3 going.
Yeah, Matt Bryant looks like he can make a shiv out of
He's
a
going to be
toothbrush.
57.
Very
He's
intimidating.
Definitely.
You don't
shanked
meet up with him in
someone
the yard.
No, but you want to be on his good side. Maybe he's working in the kitchen of the laundry. All right, on to the man who's a huge Patriots fan. On the big winner from Week 8, Mr. Seton O'Connor.
Right, so I took hashtag Tommy because he's the best, so why wouldn't you take him? I took Todd Gurley because you kind of have to at this point, right?
That's a lot of money right there for those 2 guys.
Yep.
Tommy's California connection for the people
Tommy
who might
is
not know.
yeah, he's born and raised right here in California. So
San Mateo.
I like him. Yeah, I took Latavius Murray because running backs with the last name Murray are good. I took Michael Crabtree. He gets a lot of targets. Hopefully gets in the end zone. Took Antonio Brown because I like that Big Ben is back, so he should get a lot of looks. I took Dorial Green-Beckham because he sounds like Odell Beckham. I took Martellus Bennett because it's the only one like the best tight end I could afford. I took Mr. McManus because of the usual suspects as my
Yes.
kicker. And then I've got the Jets defense because Jacksonville pretty much blows.
Dude, this team is awesome. How'd you fit all those guys on there? I don't get it. You
It is
cheaped
good.
out on Green Beckham.
Yeah,
This is
he really that. I only had a little bit of money left for a wide receiver and a tight end,
Yeah.
and those were like the 2 best that I could
Brady,
get.
this-
but-
Brady Gurley,
I
Antonio
gotta tell
Brown.
you, this is a formidable team.
And the Jets.
yeah, as
might
long
be-
as the Raiders don't do me wrong, I should be all right.
Now, you didn't take a single player from your roster last week, and you finished first. Are you afraid that you're going to be too fresh?
Wow, that's interesting. No, my concern is that I've taken Michael Crabtree before, and he didn't really do much for me. I'm concerned about taking Todd Gurley because it's like, oh, he's so awesome. He's bound to have an off week.
Yeah.
You know. Tommy, he should be all right. So no, I'm pretty happy with this. I don't like having Bears on my team though. No offense, Paul.
They're just not good at
He's
football.
just not really good, and it's like, oh, I had to do something.
Not that strong of a football team.
Yeah, that whole catching thing is like.
All right, well, we got 4 of these lineups all set now. Dan Patrick himself has one. We will get to that after this. But first, this is the box score. We're taking a break to remind you that the Ram Heavy Duty with its best in class towing, torque, and horsepower doesn't need one. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com. Guts, glory, Ram. We're closing up shop here on the box score FanDuel Draft Day. If you, that's right, you want to join in on the fun with Dan and the Danettes, you can go to FanDuel.com/Patrick and enter the promo code Patrick for a 100% deposit match up to $200 on new accounts. Just $5 to enter. That's nothing. And winners get instant cash as soon as the contest ends. All right, another last place finish for El Jefe, the boss, that is. But he says he is dumbing down the roster to make you guys feel good about yourself. Are you buying this, McLovin?
Dan's got a complicated thing because he knows some of these guys. He's got to sometimes pick guys who are his friends or
Oh,
if
that's
they're.
interesting.
I'm not saying that he's not putting everything in, but he looks at his Football Night in America schedule. He's making a lot of people happy. You know,
You're
it's
saying they're
different.
like political picks.
They're political picks. Dan has more going on than us. We're just in it for the money. Dan is wants to win money too, and he's trying hard, but he's also, he's got to be careful.
I think he's underestimated the difficulty of this. We're although I know there's been weeks where Paul would just take 3 minutes or less to fill out his picks, but I think that he's trying to show that he can just make his picks real quick, not give it much thought, and beat everybody, and it's backfiring on him every week.
All right, well, it's time to see what large chances that Dan took. Here it is. We shall reveal the boss's lineup.
All right, this is my FanDuel fantasy team. Phillip Rivers, who I love. He's going to put up big numbers. Mark Ingram, DeMarco Murray. I hesitated on DeMarco Murray. Maybe this is a breakout. I don't know if it's a breakout game. Emmanuel Sanders, Mike Evans, I love. I got James Jones again. He's been money for me. Heath Miller. Let me see. I guess Saints defense. You know, and I'm going to be honest here. I purposely tanked the last couple of weeks just to give guys, the Danettes, some self-esteem. No more Mr. Nice Guy, okay? Now you're going to see what's really this is all about. That is a winning ticket right there.
Man, I'm curious if Dan spent all of his money this week on his
Does he know it doesn't roll over to the next week?
Or does
Like,
he
you
think?
can't
Or does he
just
think he
stockpile.
keeps like the rest of the money, like whatever you don't pay, like you get in your pocket or something?
Think it's possible he drafted Philip Rivers because Fritzy won't book him to get Philip Rivers to come on the show?
Possible.
All I know is he may be tanking for another week because I don't think there's any bigger risk than DeMarco Murray and Mark Ingram at running back. Those guys could have 6 yards combined or 260
By the way,
yards
I know, but watch those guys go off now.
And if James
Yeah.
Jones doubles his performance, he'll get a whopping 1.4 for week.
Oh, what's with the Josh Brown is not exactly looking youthful in his picture either.
A lot of the kickers, yeah, it looks like maybe it was a mugshot on TMZ or something
Does
like
balding and kickers go together,
I guess so.
Fritzy?
Hey,
See, that's not necessary. Right?
that's not
that.
necessary.
No,
No, you know football.
I somehow, because of my lack of hair, I should know some extra things
That's
about
not nice.
kickers.
I think of kickers and lush hair. Nick Lowry, Grammatica.
That's right.
Dartmouth grad Nick Lowry.
Yes, that's
Not
right.
that I tell everyone I went there, but
No.
I did.
Nick
Go
the
Big
Kid.
Green.
I'll pick that up for you. Ivy League. I got that for you. All right. Fritzy, let's go to you. Who is on Dan Patrick tomorrow?
The Friday edition will include Calais Campbell, Arizona Cardinals defensive end,
Crapo.
Josh Altman of $1 Million Listing Los Angeles, and we'll also catch up with Todd Marinovich, former NFL quarterback and USC great.
Why don't we call for Nick Lowry?
All right.
Jan Stenerud, the Nickemeyer.
I
Steve
look forward to
Nickemeyer.
all these people. I forgot to give you my pick, and Danette's going to win. I'm going to go with Paulie.
Thank you.
Because he has his mustache. All right, we are back tomorrow right here on Audience Channel 239. The podcast is available on iTunes or podcast1.com. Bye-bye.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey! Thanks for watching the box score. Holy cow!